Rasmussen, and I can't remember the other polls, Zogby, they show that Trump's got 30% approval, or at least they did earlier this year, 30% approval among black voters.
Yeah.
And I think that freaks them out.
And I think realistically, just from the people that I've spoken with, man, I think it might be higher than 30%.
You think
honestly,
so?
I think
So you live in a predominantly black area?
Yeah, practically all black and Hispanic. You know?
How many people there support Trump?
They don't. That's the thing. They don't like Trump. Okay, they like what he's doing. They like what he's doing. All right. You know, listen, man. You'll be hard pressed to find somebody and say, "Oh, you didn't help with the job situation." Not gonna happen. You know what I mean? Practically everybody that I met is like, "Yo, was it easy to find a job?" No, it was easier to find a job now than it was under Obama. Still, F Trump. I don't like Trump. You know, the COVID thing happened. You know, Trump gave us the check. You know, this is cool. You know, he's funding the historically black colleges. You know, he did the prison reform. A lot of my homies are coming home. So, I still don't like them, but
Are you gonna vote for him?
they may, honestly. And if they don't vote for him, they're probably just gonna flat out not vote Democrat at all. You know, because you talk to the average black person, man, they know about Biden, they know about Kamala, and they're just like, this is definitely a virtue signal. They're not. This isn't for us right now.
If Trump came out right now and said, I am going to be reviewing every nonviolent federal drug-related offense.
It's a landslide, 3 million %.
Pardon?
100%.
Landslide.
It's gonna be a landslide, bro. It's gonna be like, what? Landslide, dude. Landslide. I'm like,
I noticed you got decriminalized marijuana.
yeah, because I'm like, yo, bro, there's a lot of people that have their lives, my cousins, for example, have their lives completely destroyed for even having like a small bag of weed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, I don't care if you smoke weed or not, whether you like weed or not is besides the point. The point that I'm saying is like, I don't know a single person, I haven't seen a single study of someone who's died from smoking marijuana. I know people that smoke marijuana for cataracts, got, back problems, friends got a fused disc and all kinds of stuff. You have to smoke. Friends that have PTSD from the military that smoke, and it helps them. I've seen them all strung out with Percocets and Xanax and all kinds of stuff, and they're fun people to get out. They're not, losing their mind and tweaking out. So I'm saying, why should someone have their entire lives destroyed because of that? I don't know if these are your fans calling, but people from all across the country keep calling my phone.
Oh, you told him your phone number was
That's
on
true. That's true. That's probably it.
Yeah.
But I started.
Tell him to text you.
Yeah, text me. If you guys want to talk, I'll respond.
Right now.
Yeah, I'll respond to your text messages if that's the case. But I don't see them. I don't see them saying no to something like that. Like, because for example, Governor Murphy, when he ran, one of the big things he ran on was like, oh, we're gonna legalize marijuana. Bro, I knew so many gangsters, bro, that were like that don't care about politics at all. They're like, yo, we vote for Murphy. Hey, Murphy's about to legalize it. And I'm like, yo, bro, but he's not the guy. And I'm like, no, he's the guy. And it's still not legal.
He wasn't the guy.
He's definitely not the guy. He's definitely not the guy.
Murphy's awful.
Yeah,
I'm leaving.
You're leaving New Jersey?
Yeah, I was thinking about this when I saw your page. You're saying make New Jersey great again, and it made me feel kind of bad. Because I'm out. I'm getting out of here, dude. I've been here for about 6 years. No, about 5 years now. Been in New Jersey for 5 years, and I've been slowly building up my business. It's doing better than ever, and I'm sitting here with like the lockdowns here. The Adalys gym guys just down the street.
Right. I know him.
Nah. I don't want to have anything to do with this guy and his eating. And you got cops that are enforcing stuff. It's not just that. South Jersey, we got crazy riots and things. I don't want to be. So it's partly that. So I'm gonna go inland. I'm gonna go to the middle of nowhere. But
Like North Dakota or something?
not that far. I'm still on the East Coast, but I'm just gonna move inland. About an hour or two or whatever.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but then I see your thing. You're like, make New Jersey great again, and I'm like, you're sticking around.
I mean, you know what's funny about you saying that? Is, when I was in the military, I was stationed in Texas, and in my opinion, there's no place more American than Texas. I
Definitely.
What, bro? I love Texas, man. And the funny thing is going out there when I was making station in Texas, the first time we go off base, and we're walking around. This is in Wichita Falls, Texas, right? Me and my friends were going out. We're looking for I think it was like a video game store or something. We're walking, and where we're going to, we're like in the middle of nowhere, like some podunk cornfield type place, right? And there's like this guy sitting in this dilapidated house, just chilling there, bloodhounds, and like just totally stereotypical. I'm like,
Was he in a rocking chair with a shotgun?
No, well, he might as well have been,
Right.
So it's me, a black dude, a Hawaiian guy, and a Samoan guy, right? And a Hispanic guy. So black guy, Hispanic guy, Samoan, and Hawaiian. We're walking down this block, all of us brown as can be. walking down the block, and we look at this guy. This guy's looking at us. We're like, oh man, we can smell something burning. So we're like, man, they're probably like, burning the cross or something in the backyard. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, let's just go back to base or whatever, right? And the guy's like, hey man, y'all from around here? I don't say anything, but the smallest guy with us is the Samoan guy. He's like, yeah, we're looking for the store or whatever. He's like, hey, why don't y'all come out back? We're cooking a pig back here. And we're like, no, we're good. He's like, oh, y'all look hot. Y'all should get some lemonade. And we're like, no, we're good. But then my friend's like, oh, no, let's go. So he starts walking, and I'm like, oh, my God. And I'm like, never leave an airman behind, right? So I follow right behind them. We go back there. Some of the sweetest people in the world I've ever met.
Yeah.
These guys, man. I'm thinking and I was afraid to come to Texas at first. I'm like, man, they got a bunch of cowboy hats, shotgun toting, redneck racist kind of people, and no, not at all. Some of the nice people in the world. We had a great time, had a couple of drinks, and all that. I experienced more racism here than I did in New Jersey than in Texas.
You know what I think it feels like? It's like the pendulum swung, and so where you used to have the racists and the stuff and everything, it's swung now to where they'll treat you like a regular person, but now on the left, they've gone so far in the other direction. You've got white progressives that scream in the face of minorities' racial slurs.
Right. And they'll think they're doing virtue right now.
Like that, you see that video of that white woman? She's holding up the sign, screaming at the black female cop, like screaming, like just. It's hilarious because she's holding up the sign while she's screaming at a black woman, and it's like, dude. But the sign on the back is fragile, and I'm like, that is the perfect image of white fragility, this lady. But this guy's filming, and he goes, don't you think it's inappropriate for you as a white woman to be screaming at a black lady about racism?
Right.
And she's like, no, because I'm the only one who can do it, because I have to do it, and she's part of the system. They're nuts. That's crazy. That's the craziest thing to me. It feels weird that, like, I was kind of, like, what I was trying to get at before about you being a Republican is that Kanye West was talking about this. They told him, you better be a Democrat, you better support Democrats, otherwise they'll destroy your career.
Right.
Like, they have a stranglehold on minority communities.
Right.
Me coming from the South Side, there's every reason that everyone in my area, everyone I know, should be a Democrat. Just absolutely opposed to Republicans, not our team. And now I'm talking to people from my neighborhood, and they're all secretly voting for Trump.
Right. That's like
So I did on my main channel today. I said Trump's second term agenda list is it enough for me? Like, I'm gonna vote for the guy. And there's like congressional term limits and ending the wars. I was like, I'll take it, man. Yeah. At this point, it's a combination of Trump has improved enough for me. He did this speech at the RNC where he's like, I'm not gonna say mean words about Hillary because they're gonna get mad at me. And I was like, I actually really like that he did that. He's like, I'm not gonna start with an SC. I'm not gonna say the word. And I was like, that's an improvement. That's an improvement. But then he did try to end the war. I talk about this all the time because it's big for me. That's why I'm really impressed with you saying, when it came to Libya, you were questioning this stuff. Because I think that's one of the biggest problems we have, where we're constantly, internally we argue about all these political issues, but a lot of stuff talk about we need money for this, we'll tax the rich. I'm like, we stop blowing up the people in foreign countries, start these wars, and we'll have money left over. We can bring it back here.
Exactly. So
anyway, Trump's improved, but also the Democrats have just gotten worse and worse and worse. The riots, the insanity. I'm sick and tired of the lies. It's just, it really is. I was talking to, I got an email from some dude who said he's in Europe, and when you turn on any European news outlet, the narrative is always far left. That Trump is evil, he's a dictator, peaceful protests are marching, and Trump's is beating them. And then he's like, but then I go on the internet and I watch what's actually happening, and it makes me angry. So for it's like, I wonder if the pendulum has swung. You tell the story.